Are you sick and tired of going to open houses, looking at homes, putting in offers, and getting outbid every single time and losing out on buying the home of your dreams? If so, stay with me until the end. I know this video is a little bit on the longer side that I would have liked, but I promise you, if you're looking for ways to make sure that your offer stands out, and more importantly, if you want to make sure that your offer gets accepted, then these are the tips and the strategies that work. Hi everyone, my name is Kevin Boyle from ilovethelowermainland.ca, and today we're going to go over 10 proven and very effective strategies on what you and your realtor can do when you find yourself in a multiple offer situation where every property that you go to seems to have 6, 10, 15 other buyers who all want to buy the same house as you, which no need to tell you, it's not fun, and for most people, it's very demoralizing. So let's get right to the tips and strategies by starting off with tip number 1. And this one, you probably know this already, but experience matters. Pick the right buyer's agent. I can't tell you how important it is for you to have the right realtor, because there's this public's perception that all realtors are the same, and they're not. I have represented hundreds and hundreds of home buyers and hundreds of home sellers in my 17 years of being a real estate agent. And I have bought and sold homes in every market. And more importantly, because I have bought and sold homes in every market, I've had to develop the knowledge, the skills, and the expertise to help my sellers sell in a down market. And just as importantly, develop the skills and the tools to help my buyers buy in an up market. Up markets are tough on buyers, and down markets are tough on sellers. Most of the realtors that I work with today submit their offer by email, and I might get a text later asking how did their offer do, but nothing about the financial stability and strength of their client's offer, no questions to me about what's really important to my sellers so that they can tweak their offers and what my sellers want. Now ask yourself, as a seller's realtor, whose offer do you think is going to get my attention and the attention of my sellers? The realtor who submits their buyer's offer by email, or the realtor who shows up at the house ready to present their offer in person and then follows up with the realtor to make sure that their offer is in the running? The realtor who ensures that they're available for a counteroffer or to make small adjustments in the offer. This is the most important step on why your offer might not be winning in multiple offer situations. Sure, price has a lot to do with it, but having the right realtor who has great follow-up, communication, and negotiating skills is also critical to getting your offer seen and accepted. So how do you know you can rely on and trust your realtor? How do you know that your realtor has the knowledge, the expertise, and the right follow-up skills to help your offer win and help you buy the home that you have your heart set on? Well, it's really easy. You have to ask for and you have to check references. You have to ask for a full page of references of current and past clients that you can call and ask some really tough questions. If you ask a realtor, will you babysit my offer to make sure that it gets accepted? How many realtors are going to tell you no, that I'm too busy working on 2 other deals tonight, or that my son has a soccer practice tonight? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, don't worry, everything's under control. I have a question for you. As a client, with your heart set on a particular home in a multiple offer situation, is that what you want to hear? As a realtor who represents both home buyers and home sellers, I can't tell you how many times I've called a buyer's agent in a multiple offer situation where I've been unable to get a hold of your realtor and I end up on voicemail. 30 minutes later, I'm working with the realtors who I can get a hold of, who communicate with me, and who are proactive in their follow-up skills. If I have 6 offers to choose from and I haven't heard from your realtor, I have to assume that that's your best offer, that's the best that you can do. Also, is your realtor willing to door knock off-market homes and expireds from years ago? Because many times expireds are just looking for the right buyer to come along and pay them the right price. And you will never know if your realtor is not asking and not out door knocking. So check your realtor's references. Ask their clients how they handle multiple offer situations. Did they get the deal done? Do they present offers in person or by email? How accessible are they when you have questions or concerns about what's going on with the deal? Save yourself a ton of grief, a ton of stress, and a ton of disappointment, and weeks of writing multiple offers on multiple properties and missing out on homes by using the wrong realtor. Tip number 2, consider buying a new build. Most home buyers prefer not buying new builds because of having to pay the GST. But when you're in a competitive market like we are now, and you're already paying over asking $80,000, $100,000, $200,000, why not buy a brand new home where you have less competition and you just pay the GST? You already know what you're paying. You don't have to worry about paying over asking. But there is a caveat to this. I don't know if you've heard about the rising cost of lumber lately. There has been a problem with some builders asking for more money from their buyers. So you need to be really careful when you read those contracts. Ask your sales rep, ask your realtor, what happens if prices go up on labor? What happens if prices go up on lumber? Is there something in this contract protecting me if costs shift? Or am I on the hook for everything? Get that in writing. Tip number 3, consider taking a backup position. So many times as a seller's realtor, I will never hear from the buyer's realtor again. You know, they put in an offer on the property, you were so close, you just missed out. Consider putting in a backup position because you never know whether that buyer overextended themselves in a multiple offer situation to get that property, and then when crunch time comes, they don't get the financing. So if you're in a backup position, your offer goes right square to the front and center, and you now become the accepted offer. Well, you would have never been in that position if your realtor didn't take the time to put you into a backup position. Tip number 4, provide written proof of your financial stability, your commitment to purchasing the home, and how flexible you are to the home sellers in your letter to the seller. A lot of realtors today recommend writing letters to the home sellers, letting the home seller know how much you love the home, and to include a little bit about your family and even include a picture, which is all great advice. But they miss out something, the most important thing, which is the details to the seller that the seller wants to know. What's important to the seller, which is, if I accept your offer, are you financially stable and will your financing get approved? So when I submit a letter, which I actually have templates for you, so you don't have to worry about what you need to write. You just fill in the blanks and put in your own reasons. But what I do is I know that the seller's primary concern is, am I going to get the right price? And if I do get the right price and I accept this offer, can the buyer remove financial subjects or not? Will their bank approve this loan? So why not take that concern off the table? If your lender will write you a pre-approval letter, why not include that with your letter to the seller? The seller also wants to know if you're flexible on the completion and possession dates. They also want to know, will you remove subjects early if you can? I can't tell you how stressful it is for a seller having to wait until the very last day of subject removal to see if the buyer's actually able to or going to remove subjects. So why not take those concerns away? I actually, like I said earlier, have a pre-written buyer's letter that I give to all of my clients when we're in multiple offer situations with all of the home seller's concerns addressed. And my buyers, like I was telling you, just fill in the blanks and boom, you have this great letter that makes your offer really stand out. Tip number 5, be extremely flexible on the possession dates and have as little subjects as possible. Or if you can, consider writing your offer with no subjects at all. But that does come with a risk, and that's why I offer all of my clients a no-risk home purchase guarantee. What that means is if you use my services to buy a home, any home, and if for any reason in the next year you change your mind or you feel like you made the wrong decision or a bad decision, maybe Now that you're living in the neighborhood, you decide you don't like the neighborhood, or your neighbors turn out to be the neighbors from hell. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. If you decide that you need to sell within a year of purchasing your home, I will sell and market your home for free. You don't need to worry about buying the wrong home in the wrong neighborhood, and you won't be stuck. Tip number 6, use an escalation clause. Basically, what you're doing is you're telling the seller, I will pay you $5,000 to $10,000 over and above your best offer up to a cap. So many realtors will tell you just to write down your cap or your best offer right out of the gate. And yes, I will agree you should write a strong offer in a multiple offer situation, but there's a risk with putting in an offer at $50,000 over asking. Maybe the best offer is only $10,000 over asking. You've just wasted $40,000. The escalation clause with a cap is actually designed to protect you from paying too much as serve you in paying the right price, which is just over their best offer. Tip number 7. If you have equity in the home that you are in right now, why not buy now before you sell? Selling in this market is not the problem. Trust me, I can list and sell your home right now for top dollar in as little as 4 or 5 days. So why sell first in this market knowing that you can sell? If you have equity, you can take all the time you need to buy with less stress. You take all the time you need to find the home that you want, and you purchase that home, and then you sell. If you sell first in this market, trust me, it is super stressful because you've sold, you have to buy, you have to make that offer work, and it puts a lot of stress on you. So just think about that. If you have equity, think about buying first. Tip number 8, offer the seller a free rent back for 30 days, which gives them more time for them to find their home. Right now, this is the biggest fear facing everyone who's selling. Yes, I can sell, but can I buy, and can I buy within my budget? Can I find a home that I'm going to like in my budget? So why not, again, take that fear away? As a buyer, your first mortgage payment is typically not payable until 45 days. That means you can give the seller an extra month for them to find a place to purchase. Tip number 9, if the offers are really close and you're at your maximum that the bank has said, listen, we're only going to give you this much for your mortgage, and you're at the max and you're close, why not offer to pay the seller their closing costs? It's a creative way to give your offer a little bit more room, and when you, like I said, you don't have any room with the bank. Maybe you can even give them some money to help them with their moving costs. There are tons of creative ways in how you can work with a seller to help make your offer the best one on the table. It just means being creative and thinking outside of the box and finding out what's important to the seller. Tip number 10, add earnest money as a deposit. Trust me, attaching a check to your offer gets home sellers' attention. And it shows them that you are committed, that you want to purchase this home, and that you're serious. And if for some reason you can't, or you decide not to remove subjects, the money comes back to you. So you don't lose this money. And if you do remove subjects, and I assume that you will, the money, just like a deposit, gets applied to your down payment. Well, there you have it, my top 10 tips and strategies on how to get your offer seen, and more importantly, how to have your offer accepted in multiple offer situations. As promised at the start of the video, I do have some freebies for you to help you out if you're thinking about buying in the next year or so. Number 1, I will help you improve your credit score. If you're having trouble coming up with a down payment, I have this great guide on 20 different ways to help you save for a down payment. But I also have this really good guide on how to increase your credit score by at least 100 points to help you save hundreds of dollars on your monthly mortgage payment. I can't tell you how important your credit score is. And maybe sometimes we take it for granted, and we know that our score is good enough to get us a mortgage, but we don't know how much better it could be and how those improvements could really help us in knocking down that payment. As soon as you start thinking about buying a home, what I'd like you to do is get in touch with me and give me a heads up. Let's get that score up so we can get your monthly mortgage payment down and help you save tons and tons of money over the term of your mortgage. Number 2, if you use me to purchase a home, I will pay for your home inspection. No fine print, no loopholes. Cross the home inspection expense off your list. I'll take care of it. It will save you hundreds of dollars, and you will also get a very special and a very unique housewarming gift. It's my way of saying thank you for using me as your realtor. And number 3, as stated earlier, I have over 17 years experience in buying and selling of homes. One of my specialties and one of the things that I love to do is helping first-time home buyers. Over the years, I've put together and written a home buying guide that is second to none. I have read a lot of home buying guides from other realtors, and I've read them from banks and the CHMC, and there is nothing as comprehensive, nothing as A to Z that takes you through all the steps. I have new home checklists. I have everything that you need to know about buying a home, what questions to ask. I go into proactive problem solving, what you should be out on the look for, so you never have to worry about any last minute expenses or any nasty unforeseen surprises, which, let's face it, as a buyer, there's nothing worse than 6 months later, after you've spent so much money on a home, feeling like you've been cheated, feeling like you were duped, that you bought the wrong home or that you bought in the wrong neighborhood, or that your realtor didn't do a good job and that there's a lot of things that they missed out on for you. And of course, please don't forget about my no-risk home purchase guarantee, where I guarantee your home purchase for a full year after your purchase. Also, if you're selling, I do have a special promotion for you to save even more money with my home seller rebate program. Lastly, if you're thinking about buying in the next year, if you have any questions and you want to get started, why not book a free, no obligation, absolutely no sales pressure home buying or home selling consultation? And let's talk about what the best options are for you and your family moving forward. It's free, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you found this video useful and you would like more great home buying or home selling tips, you'd like new build notifications, buying and selling, rebates, information on government home buying programs, why not subscribe to my newsletter? Just send me an email to kevin@ilovethelowermainland.ca with the word subscribe in it. You can change your mind and unsubscribe at any time, but I think you will find the content second to none. Until next time, take care and stay safe.